Nisimhadev Jaya, Nisimhadev Jaya, Nisimhadev Jaya, Nisimhadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Nisimhadev Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming to Bhaktivedanta Manor today. See, the deities are wearing so amazing, beautiful red and gold. It's very royal, very royal. So every day we see them wearing different outfits, and each one seems better than the last one, So that's happened for 50 years now, Anyway, Krishna is known as all attractive, He's all attractive. So anyway, please keep coming. Please take advantage. Can you help set up the Vyasa-san?
I'm going to set up, yeah.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah, so please keep coming and take advantage of Harinam Sankirtan. And also, it's very important to hear the message of Lord Krishna. So we're going to have a Bhagavad Gita class now. And there's a big queue in the Haveli, so it'll take you half an hour to get to the front anyway. So if you want to sit here and hear some Bhagavad Gita, then you can take that message with you, and then you can get your plate of prasadam, because they're going to be serving for the next hour and a half. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Radha Gokulananda ji ki jai. Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman ki jai. Nisi Gaur Nitai ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we have a devotee here. He's a disciple of Kadamba Kanana Swami. His name is Deva Rishi. Deva Rishi. So anybody know what that means, Deva Rishi? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does he say? Yeah, it's a name. What does Deva Rishi mean?
Deva Rishi is referring to Narada Muni.
Narad Muni. Okay. So his name is Deva Rishi Das. So he's supposed to be the servant of Narad Muni. So Narad Muni has got his veena and he's traveling all over the universe telling everyone, the names of Krishna and Govinda and Vishnu. So today he's doing that. He's giving the message of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nice to be with all of you. I can't remember the last time I gave class. I'm one of the residential monks here. Been staying here for almost probably over a year. So it's nice to also give class to build my confidence. I'm also speaking for my purification. Hopefully I can learn something from you as well, and you can learn something. Hopefully I can share some wisdom for you, something that will take you for next steps in Krishna consciousness. So just before I'll begin my talk, it's just generally customary that we usually sing Jai Radha Madhava. Srila Prabhupada would always begins his class with Jai Radha Madhava. It just helps us to get into that mood, that consciousness, and this is what it's really about. Krishna consciousness is being conscious, being self-aware, and we'll speak a little bit more about it also on these things. And I really encourage people to kind of listen in, tune in, make the most of it. I like you, was also, for many years, I was also in Krishna conscious, but never really asked a lot of questions, never really, just sat there, took darshan, it was nice. But there's more depth to this spirituality, there's more more to be discovered. It's like Krishna consciousness, spiritual life is something like an ocean. It is a bottomless ocean. There's not a depth or limit to what you can discover or reach out. So I do encourage people to ask questions, comments anytime throughout my talk. And then we kind of try to make it a little bit personal rather than just me speaking and then you listening. So I'd like, a lot of input from you also. I also have a mic. And we can also read together. We can share some lessons. I hope that's okay with everyone. Yes? Say Hare Krishna. If you, okay, so you are all awake. Hope you don't go to sleep. So I'll just sing Jai Radha Madhav for about 5-10 minutes. I'll read the verse and we'll discuss something. How's that sound? Good. Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jada Gadada Shiva Sadi Goza Bhaktivedanta Kanya Prabhu Nityananda Jada Gadada Shiva Sadi Goza Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Jaya Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman Sitaram Jaya Hanuman Lakshmana Hanuman Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nidai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nidai Gaura Haribo. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. I was just thinking, maybe it's, I just humbly request if everybody can kind of face me. It's nice when we have like a little bit of interaction. Yeah, we can make the most of it. Radha Gokulananda is not running away. They're always going to be there. Even more so, they're also there as a Chaitya Guru, as Paramatma, so they're not going to run off. So please do join with me. Generally, it's also to invoke auspiciousness. We say this one prayer. I think many of you would know. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. But in any case, if you don't know, that's fine. I'll explain. It just simply means to offer respectful obeisances. Anything we do in our practice, we generally offer obeisances. That's one of the conscious efforts we try to make, to have a heart full of gratitude, to understand everything is not happening by my willpower, by my things, but actually happening by Krishna. So in this way, when we recognize these things, then it's very nice. We have a good attitude. Yeah, and we can come far in life. So I'll repeat 3 times. You can repeat after me. And say with very loud enthusiasm. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Hare Krishna. So I'll be reading from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5. Does anybody know what the chapter is entitled? Any guess? Any thoughts? Yes, but the name of the chapter is? Have a guess? Karma Yoga. Ooh, very close, but there's last part missing. Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. Just out of curiosity, how many have actually read the Gita? Please raise your hands. Half. Okay, fine. So many of you are unaware. So would it help if I give a little bit of an introduction or background on the Gita? So there are 4 main speakers of the Gita. Does anybody know who the main speakers are? I think 2 of them you will know, definitely, for sure. Yes, Krishna. Yeah. And there's 1 person more missing. Dhritarashtra, yes. So these are the 4 main people. It's actually technically 2. It's actually Krishna, Arjuna. But it just happens to be in a conversation within a conversation. So it's like something like if I was speaking to you, but then I'm recalling another conversation. So it's like that. It's actually the people who are actually speaking is actually Sanjaya and speaking to Dhritarashtra. But how is it that he is able to speak all of this? Does anybody know how he's not even in the conversation? So how is it that Sanjaya is able to speak so many things on a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna? Anybody know? Yes. Special eyesight, in a way, almost. Yes.
He can hear everything and he can see everything.
Okay. Yes, definitely. That is correct. But how? How is this possible? By and who did he get the special powers from? Yes. Well, of course, everything comes from Krishna, but not quite. It's yes. Vishnu, no. Yes. Nope. Nope. I'll give you a clue. It begins with V. How's that mean? And it's not Vishnu. Vyasadeva. It's actually Vyasadeva, but yes, that is correct answer. So Sanjay, he had after I think some sacrifice or some work he did nicely for Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva then gave him the boon that he could hear a conversation even though miles away. So the actual speakers technically is Krishna Arjuna, but outside of that is actually Sanjay kind of narrating different things to Dhritarashtra. And so the Gita begins with this verse. Dhritarashtra vacha dharmasya kuruksya samaveya yuyutsava mamaka pandavaschaiva kim akurvata Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, okay, we're going to war. It's natural, over injustice of the kingdom. So he's asking, okay, we're getting ready for battle. What's happening now? What is the thing? Does anybody not find that a little strange? Because he's like, it's like, okay, you're going to war. What else are you going to do? You're going to fight, right? So one may ask, why is he asking this question? Why is he asking, what did you do? Can anyone answer? And I even have a mic, so you can even respond to me. Yes. Because I just realized people online may not be able to hear.
He wants to know what is happening in the war.
Yes, but why?
He's related to some of the people in the war.
Yes. not quite right. There's a little bit more to it. Who is winning? Yes, but there's one. I'll give you a hint. It's Kurukshetra, Dharmakshetra. There's one specific word I'm looking for. Yes.
Couldn't see, he was blind.
Yes, he was blind, he couldn't see, that's true, but why did he inquire? It's even if you're blind, it's like saying, okay, I'm going to go to the cinemas. What are you going to do at the cinemas? You're going to watch a movie, right? Not quite. So the answer is that he's doubtful. When you're at battle, the most important thing is your strategy, your strategical things. Now he knew that Kurukshetra is a place, a religious principle, a religious place. You know, so many people have gone there, and he has done so many irreligious activities. So he was thinking, I feel like this Kurukshetra is going to favor them. I myself was, before joining as a monk, I was actually a semi-pro footballer. And so generally, sometimes you get this every now and again, which side are we going to say? Because also then sometimes you will see that if you're on this side, hey, the sun might be on the other side. That could impact our vision to see the ball. So in the similar way, he is thinking that this place, Kurukshetra, Dharmakshetra, is going to affect them positively, because they're of a religious, how should I say, nature, they're favorably. So therefore he's doubtful, and then he's asking, what did he do? This doesn't quite add up. Let me confirm, is this going to favorably win in their sides? You know, are the odds on their side? So like this, so the whole conversation of the Gita, the whole narration of the Gita is basically questions and answers. So this chapter, Karma Yoga, Action, Krishna Consciousness, is actually a continuation from chapter 3, where Krishna is discussing various topics to Arjuna, and he's discussing how we can live in this world, doing our work, but also not being attached to the results of our fruits, and remaining free from it, to gain free from this bondage. One of the verses goes like this: Yagnatha karmano yantra lokayam karma kanteya tadartham karma kanteyad mukta sangha samacharya. Work that is done as a sacrifice for Vishnu will help to liberate one. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but otherwise, if it's not done for the satisfaction of Vishnu, it'll cause bondage. Why? Because there are 3 types of work. There is karma, where we're getting the reactions of our karma. We're getting good karma for the things we do. Like we hear this time and time again. That every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Yes. So in the same way, we get good or bad depending on how we do. So there's good karma in itself, and then we have vikarma, which is the bad karma we do. But there's a problem with karma and vikarma. Does anybody know what is the problem with karma and vikarma? Anyone? Any thoughts? Yes. Yeah, almost. Very close. Yes. One's good, one bad, yes, but what is the problem with one's good and one's bad? Yes. You're very close. You're getting there. It's like, yes. It's in a cycle. Yes, you got it. That both good karma and bad karma both binds us to this material world. That's when then there's this saying. I guess many of you know it. Acha karo. You don't have to do anything else. So just leave everything. Just forget about this Krishna conscious. Forget about this. Just do some good. But what is the problem in that philosophy? We don't know what is good. How do we know what is good? What good for one person might be bad for another person. Therefore, we have to take guidance from the scriptures. It's very important because it can tell us authoritatively, it knows what is good. It can see the bigger picture. It's part of Krishna's plans, part of Krishna's system, to know what exactly really is good. And do you know what is the best welfare work is? For any person, for a person in Krishna conscious to help another person. Do you know what the best welfare work is? Yes. Serving, yes, but what do we do? What's the benefit of serving? Yes. Chanting, yes, but what does that bring? What is the goal at the end? These are the process, yes. Yes. Praying, these are all processes. Come on, adults, the kids are doing really well. There's like I'm sure the adults are there. You can say something. Yes. Krishna guides us to the world? Yeah, kind of. No, not really actually. The benefit, the highest welfare work is actually to stop this repeated birth and death, old age and disease. This is a real problem, and it's funny, it's like we don't even recognize it, right? It's just something that just goes on automatically. So this is the first thing that we want to start in spiritual life, Ato Brahma Jignasa, which means to inquire. Like you have all day, you have today sat in front of me to think about these things, to challenge these things. This is something that people don't really challenge, don't really think about. It's one of these things where they go to work, go home, go to work, go to home. Now, how long are you going to keep doing that? Go to work, go home. And you don't, never does it come across your mind this thought of, hey, what am I doing in this world? Where am I going with this? It's like, it's like the rat race, we're all in this rat race, but we don't know where the end goal is. The end goal is to free ourselves from this cycle of birth and death. This is called mukti, liberation, that we want to free ourselves. And the funny fact is that the animals, they're also having birth, they're also having death, they're also having old age, and they're also having disease. But what is it that separates the animals from the humans? Can anyone say? Yes, the intelligence. The animals can't come here and they're like, oh, wait, what is this? What are we going to do? No, the animals, they're going to play, they're going to mate. That's the nature of animals. So this is what we are starting with, that before we come to Krishna consciousness, we have to become conscious. We have to at least become on the level of a human. Otherwise, there is, what is the difference between you and the thing? They are doing practically the same thing. But here we are, a chance to actually question things. Therefore, I say questions are the quest of life. We can really break through this. It's something like of a matrix, that everybody's going through this, not even realizing it. So the highest welfare work is reality distinguished from illusion. That's how actually the Bhagavatam begins. Srimad Bhagavatam is the next level of study from Bhagavad Gita. And actually here in Bhagavatam we find it's actually a vivid description of the characters that take on the teachings. So yes, this is the highest welfare work. And actually one of our teachers, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, which his appearance was just a few days before. He was one person, Srila Prabhupada. When he came, he was saying actually that first, before doing all this welfare, it's good. But why don't we try to get independence? At that time, India wasn't independent. It was under the reign of the British Empire. So he thought, why don't we just get free from the British rule? That makes sense, right? It's the most immediate thing. It's the thing that's on people's minds. So why do we have to take to Krishna consciousness? Why? And his amazing answer was this, that politics is going to change day in, day out. From one day, politics may change from this to that. These things are no eternal benefit, It's like something like of an investment. Now, what use is it we're going to bring about bringing short-term gains, It's very loose. How many of you have savings? ISAs. Savings. Why do we put savings? What's the purpose and benefit? Yes. So we're definitely going to save the most when we come. Yes, you had... Yes? Did you say something? No, it's okay. Yeah, so we want to come out of this platform, out of birthdays, old age, and disease. These things are never going to change, no matter where we are in life. And these are the most painful things, you know. It's interesting that there's this conversation, I think with Yudhishthira Maharaj and somebody else, it's not coming to my head. But he was saying, what is the most amazing thing that people don't even know about? And he said the answer was simply incredible, that everybody knows that they see death. Everybody knows that, you know, death is going to come. They're all going to die. But the thing is that they think, I'm never going to die. I'm going to live eternally. Isn't that? So life is a preparation. Death is a final examination. And so this is what we are. This is the philosophy of Krishna consciousness described in the Gita, as that how we can free ourselves from this world and we can attain the spiritual world. So it's giving us three things: who we are, our self-realization, how we're the under the Atma, we are the soul and we're not the body. But then on top of that is now, what's our connection with Krishna? How do we relate with Krishna? We are part and parcel of Krishna, and that we are belonging to him. We are qualitatively, quantitatively one with him, but quantity we're different with him. We are part and parcel. We are small and minute, Anu Atma, and he is Vibhu Atma, supreme. So it's something like that of a, how should I say, fish in the water, that we are meant to serve Krishna. Jivede Sarupa Hoy Krishna Nityadas. This is our position, to serve Krishna. Otherwise, we are going to be bound here. But Krishna is very kind that he lets us stay here as long as we like, because it's based on free will. How is it free will? It's because Krishna never stops you. He always lets you do what you want, and therefore we're here. We already can see the free will is already here. He didn't stop us to bring us here. So, you know, many people will say, oh, you know, God does so much injustice, you know. If he is really, truly God, then therefore he would not allowed all of this injustice, all this violence to happen, you know. Palestinian, Israel, so many of these things happening. What would we say to that? What would be our response? Any thoughts, comments? It's a tough question, yeah. Yeah, everything, that's the thing. There is war all the way, the war is always happening. There is always conflict between different matters, because it's the sense of ego. I am I, that I want to take power and position. This is how the story begins of our disposition of being here, is that we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna, and we thought we could be the center of the attraction, or the center of the universe. Why does Krishna? It's like, you know, he's always playing, he's always enjoying. It's like, come on, man, why is he the top dog? Let me be the top dog. I want to be part of the bigger picture, you know. People should glorify me. Why Krishna? So therefore, this has happened, that out of this, Krishna then facilitates. It's this saying, man proposes, God disposes. Yes. So Krishna is facilitating. It's not that God has arranged all of these things. We have done all of these. It's out of our arrangement, out of our course of work. So it's really, the wars are happening because of our doing, not of Krishna. He's just facilitated that. Okay, you want to do this? Fine, go ahead. But, you know, there's always going to be some punishment for every good thing you do. There's also going to be a bad. So anyway, I will now speak a little bit about the verse, but I hope that helped a little bit of introduction to the Gita. So I'll be speaking on text, let me see, text number 24. It's interesting because I generally, I think about a verse, but today I just asked one of my friends, his name's Mancha Tatu, I just asked him randomly. I scrolled through and I just flicked through and I told him, tell me when to stop. And so I stopped. And so the verse this one is describing one whose happiness within, who's active and who rejoices within, whose aim is inward. He's actually a perfect mystic and he's liberated in the Supreme and ultimately attains the Supreme. So it's an interesting verse. The class usually goes until 2, right? Till 2-ish. So maybe we could quickly recite the Sanskrit verse. Maybe if I give this to somebody, we can have a go. It's a nice way we can also have a go together. So I'll recite the verse, and then you can kind of repeat, and we'll take it from there. How's that sound? Yes? Good? Maybe what I can do is, just because sometimes Sanskrit is very difficult, nitty-gritty, it's sometimes difficult to pronounce it, so maybe I'll just do word by word. So you can repeat after me. Yo anta sukha antarasma tata antar jyotir evaya sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto adhigacchati yo anta sukha antarasma. Have a go, don't worry. Tata anta jyotir evaya sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuta adhigacchati. Okay, maybe one more time. Yo anta sukha antara aramas tata anta jyoti evaya sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuta adhigacchati. Would anybody like to have a go? Anyone? It's okay. Yeah, have a little go. It's no problem. You try your best. Sanskrit, or even if you're not confident doing Sanskrit, maybe even the English. English is also quite nice. Yeah, you can take a mic. Yeah, maybe have a go at reading the English part.
Yes.
Yeah, you can read the English part.
Yo nita sako nita adamasta Yota Ivaya so Sayogi Brahma Nirvayam Brahma Bhuto Tikachati.
Wow. Give him a round of applause. That was nice. That was impressive. In fact, even I find it difficult sometimes to say the thing. So maybe we'll go for word just so that we give a little bit of meaning behind each of these Sanskrit words. So you can repeat after me. Ya. One who.
One who.
Ananta Sukha.
Ananta Sukha.
Happy from within.
Happy from within.
Antarama.
Antarama.
Actively enjoying within.
Acting into within.
Tata.
Taka.
As well as. Antajoti.
Antajoti.
Aiming within.
Aiming within.
Eva. Certainly. Ya. Anyone. Sa. He. Yogi. A mystic. Brahma Nirvanam. Liberation in the Supreme. Brahma Bhutaha. Being self-realized. Adhigacchati. Attains. Since you have the microphone, do you want to read the translation? It's just the English part. It begins with one who is happiness.
One who has happiness is within, who has active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually perfect mystic. he is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme.
You can read the purport too. Yeah, you can read the purport. Just the next bit. There's a small paragraph follows. Yeah, sure.
Unless one who is able to relish happiness from within, how can one retire from its external engagements meant for driving superficial happiness? A liberated person enjoys happiness, factual experience from within. He can therefore sit silently at any place, enjoy activities of life from within, such as a liberated person no longer desires an external material happiness. This state is called Brahma Bhuta, attaining which one is assured from going back to Godhead, back to home.
Jai, thank you so much for reading. So I'll just recite, generally before also we recite another invocation mantras before I'll speak. So I'll just recite that quickly, and you can think of also somebody who you're grateful to. Om Jnana Timanandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyachadeshatharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. You know, it's interesting when growing up, especially from an Indian background, most of the times we're told, just participate in the puja, just come help out. And as soon as you want to try to answer questions, like, shh, be quiet, don't answer any questions, It's like, so I wanted to ask how many, we recite this many times, these invocation prayers, but how many times do you actually recognize and know the meaning of this? It's very important to know the meaning. Can anyone say what these meanings is? I'm sure you must have. How many of you here for the first time? Put your hands up. Okay, Hare Krishna. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Chandra, nice to meet you. My name is Devarishi. Yeah, so actually the meaning of this, so the mantra begins with Om Jnana Timirandasya. So here it's describing how everything is actually darkness. We are full of darkness. But we have a light of source of emanation, and that source of emanation is coming from a spiritual teaching. So this is how important it is, how much we recognize the value of a teacher is that he brings us out from a place of darkness into a place of light. And this is actually the essence of Krishna consciousness, that we're going from nescience to lightness. This is what Krishna is. And there's 3 phases of realizing this. So there's the stage of Brahman, there's the stage of Paramatma, and there's the level of Bhagavan. Can anybody describe or explain a little bit how these work? Does anybody know? Any thoughts, comments? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Yes, it is God, but it's different words. To an extent, it's like something like Prabhupada gives this example of a sun. The sun is all the same, regardless whether it's the sunshine, the heat, the planet, the globe. It's like that. It's all the same ones, but it's to the degree of understanding. So from the sun we have the sun rays. So sun rays is described as a Brahman, which is everything you can see, the effulgence. Most people think that actually we want to attain nirvana. Forget nirvana means to come out this forest. So we want to negate everything. But our process is not to negate anything, but actually to, how should I say, to kind of utilize this. It's like something like of a doctor. He has a knife in the hand. So it's like, knife is a very dangerous tool, It's a common weapon for killers, So then how is it that a doctor can use it? It's because he can use it for surgery and can save patients. So in the similar way, the utilization is really practical. Brahman is the effulgence, the rays of the sun is the manifestation, is spiritual energy. But above that is the Paramatma level. That level is the localized feature, the localized aspect. So that could be, how should I say it? No, it's more of the sun rays, but there's the sunshine. That's the sunshine. So it has a potency there. So it's within our heart. Paramatma means just that soul which is supreme, but it's also within. So there's different ways of realizing Krishna. And one of the ways of realizing Krishna is through Anta Atma. So that's what it's describing also in this verse, that happiness comes from within, because we are not the body, but with the soul. So it's not that we are how should I say, beings that are having a spiritual experience. No, it's the other way around. We're actually having we're spiritual beings having a human experience, like this. So there's Brahman, there's Paramatma, which is the sunshine, and the ultimate is Bhagavan. So we always say this, Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who is full of 6 opulence. What are those opulence? Fame, beauty, renunciation, strength, knowledge, power. These are the 6 opulences. So if anybody asks you, oh, I'm God, I'm supreme, they may not say it, but they show it. Well, let's see compared to his. He owns everything, basically. There's actually one thing impossible that you can't do from God. Can anybody tell me one impossible thing that you can't do? Everything seems to be possible by Krishna's mercy, but there's one thing that you can't do. Can anybody tell me? No, not quite. There's one thing very impossible. This is a trick question, by the way. It's thought what you can't do. Yeah. Yes, definitely. But yeah, Krishna could empower you to be on his level, because Krishna does say that my devotees are even higher than me. So he could empower you to take that level. So generally, yeah, the jiva cannot ever be equated to God, but he could empower you to be above him if he wanted to, if he so desires, just for reason. Yeah, only has the power, but that's only for certain job. He never makes it as such. But there's one thing that you can't do, is that you can't get out of Krishna's grasp. Because you can't get out, because everything is owned, and he's the supreme. So Bhaktaram Yagatapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So at this end of the chapter, it's described out of everything that he's the most supreme. You can't, it's like, how do you get away from Krishna, So that's one thing that's quite impossible, that you can't do from Krishna. So continuing with this topic, this verse is describing happiness, and it's describing that within us, that he is active and we rejoice is within, and his inward is actually the perfect mystic. It's interesting in this world today, when we look around, you'll see everywhere you go, there's betting shops, there's sweet shops, so many different things. And it's a constant battle, we're trying to look for happiness with everything this goes. This is one of the constitutional function of the soul. Anandamayo bihasat, that we are constantly looking for happiness. But what's the problem? Why is it that we are not constantly happy? You know, the reason why we're never constantly happiness is because this material world is never designated to be happiness. It's something like of a prison, you know. The prison is not meant for a happy place. It's described that this world is full of dukkhainam ashvatam, that it's place of misery, suffering. And actually, if we realize this quickly and soon enough, then we realize, I want to get out, I want to break through. This is the cycle that people don't understand. You know, it goes beyond their head. We just kind of work, we go, we do our things, but never does it come to my mind, hey, is there a better place than this? Surely there must be something better than this. So one of the aspects, one of the things I realized as a monk is that many times we try to have that spiritual experience. We want to, there's the spiritual world, there's a spiritual realm called Goloka Vrindavan. And Goloka Vrindavan is where Krishna resides with his Gokuls, with his cows. Therefore we call Radha Gokulananda. He's always having his cows, full of cows, you know. He has so many cows, I can't remember. It's unimaginable how cows Krishna has. You know, and we get so many ideas after reading the Gita of how beautiful it is, what he does in the spiritual world. And we kind of want to be a part of it. We kind of want to attain it. But here's another thing. Not only can we attain it, we can bring it down to our level. This is so powerful, Krishna consciousness. It's mentioned, Golekera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan, that this simple process of chanting can be so sublime, so effective that we can bring the spiritual, we can tap into the spiritual reality. So you can feel already, you know, when you're being here, you know, when you're at work, it's like so boring, so dull. It's like, oh, have you done your targets? Have you done these things? It's like 8 hours. You know, before this, I was also working in the housing estate. I was behind the computer desk. I was like, it's like, there's got to be something more. There's got to be something more fun. That's also one reason why I also took up to spiritual life also, is I wanted to have a life adventure. You know, how many of us is gonna just be like that ordinary person, just 9-to-5 job, get married? This is the things that society will do. But let me tell you this one thing. Just because everybody does it doesn't make it right. And just because nobody does it doesn't make it wrong. See? But it doesn't mean that just because you're unique in something doesn't mean that this is the option to go for also. It requires 3 things: Guru, Sadhu, Sastra, that we verify this process. So it's incredible how we can tap into that spiritual just by this chanting. But it's not just that we chant just for name's sake. We also have to be conscious about this, of who we are chanting to, what is our purpose in chanting to, as I mentioned before, that we want to have a desire to please the Supreme Lord. So this happiness is all about being aware of who we are and connecting to the source. Like I mentioned before, a fish out of water can never be happy, no matter what you give it. So similarly, no matter how many material objects or possessions we have in our hands, can never be really happy. But then the question begs, then why do we need these things? What is it? It seems like the whole world is bent on having more money, having more possessions, more things, you know? So then, how do you reconcile? So one of the things about happiness is not about getting what you like, but liking what you get. So here this person, you could say, his happiness is that he's attained the stage of Brahma Bhuta, that he is no longer after external things, because he clearly knows these things are not going to make me happier. They're temporary, full of misery, you know, and we can clearly see it, that nobody has really full happiness. Full happiness which is from the soul. The soul is described as 3 things: Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Sat means full of eternality. Chit means knowledge, and Anand means full of bliss. So we can see that on the soul level, we have Sat Chit Ananda, but then we have on the material plane, on the material platform, Asat. Everything is, when it says it means the complete opposite. So it's full of dukh, full of miseries. So therefore, we connect within, that we realize who we are, that everything that's actually happening externally is a manifestation of internally. That is, it's actually gross to subtle. So whatever you see here is gross, is all subtle. So here we are getting to realize a picture, sense a picture of Krishna here as a supreme, and that we are realizing this also. So it may be difficult to come to the level of Bhagavan, a personal aspect, because people will say, oh, why do you need a personal form? You're limiting him, It's like he's everywhere, he can be supremely powerful. If that's the case, if he's supremely powerful, why can't he be a person? You're limiting him also, because you're saying that he can't do something we can't do, because we are also forms, so why can't be? He can be most simultaneously one and different. So this is the philosophy Achinta Veda Veda Tattva. He's simultaneously one and different. That he's fully the energy. That there is three energies actually. There's Antaranga Shakti, there is Tatashta Shakti, and there's Bahiranga Shakti. So we're part of the Tatashta Shakti, that we can always free to choose whether we want to take part of the spiritual platform or the material platform, whether we want to elevate her. So in between everything, between birth and death, and all of these stages that which I've mentioned, there's always one thing, and that's your ability to choose. That Krishna never stops you. Of course, he helps you to realize these things. He puts things in before. So like something like when a child leaves home and makes a little bit of a mistake, it's like, Krishna is very kind and forgiving. It's like he doesn't stop us from doing what he wants, but he at the same time he just gives that time and space. So you may be thinking, oh, why is Krishna doing these things? Why am I put in this situation? Well, Krishna is always giving these situations just to help you realize these things. So therefore, we shouldn't ask Krishna to change his situation. He's put you in this situation just to reform. So we're here in this world to reform, to understand our life's purpose, to go back to him. And it's a simple process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we understand this, we come to the stage of Brahma Bhuta, attaining this platform, a spiritual platform, and that we are wanting to go back home, back together. That's where we belong. This is where it's the place to be, We always think, am I missing out? Is this the place to be? And for sure, after my due diligence, after being for many years, I definitely felt a sensation. And you'll feel this, there's a sense of tranquility, sense of peace. And definitely, this is the proof. The proof is in the pudding, that we feel this connection. And there's no loss. Everything to be gained and no loss. And even Krishna says, Arjun's asking, well, what if somebody is not able to go back to Godhead? Let's say that he doesn't finish, because there's actually a criteria. In anything, there's a certain criteria we have to attain. So then it's like, what if he's not able to continue this path? Why if he's somehow or another didn't manage to go back home? So Krishna says, yeah, that's fine. But the spiritual progress that you've made has no loss in it. You always continue this path. There's no diminution. So please continue, please inquire, please keep coming, and you'll get to know more and more things. And it's going to be a transformational journey. It's so many incredible things. So I'm going to stop here because it's 2:00. I'm going to open it for a little bit of questions and answers, or any comments, or any realizations you've had, or anything, thoughts that you've had that you comes to mind. So yes, please go ahead with any thoughts or comments or questions. Yeah.
So, yeah, comments. So, this was very nice coming, and I like this session.
You like the session? Well, that's good.
it was like very hard to answer the questions.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Very hard.
That's why we should know these things.
And plus, I really liked reading the Bhagavad Gita.
Ooh, very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you liked the class, so I'm going to end the session here. Thank you so much for listening. I did have some notes prepared, but I kind of changed the topic just so that you could get the most out of the session. Please do come again. We also have a Sunday program running from 4:30 to 6:30 in the Haveli. So please do join there. It's very nice. A lightning talk, a little bit of mantra meditation, kirtan, and some nice prasadam. Only for those attendees to take